Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Oklahoma Sportscene 2019. I'm Chris Lincoln, along with the two Hall of Fame coaches, J.V. Haney and Gil Cloud, also our athletic director of Tulsa Public Schools. Big show this week, guys. We have Emmett Hahn, who's going to talk about the Chili Bowl, the big indoor car race. It's always a big hit and attracts drivers and fans from all over the nation. In fact, 5 foreign countries as well. So we'll talk some auto racing with Emmett Hahn. And then we'll wrap up the National Finals Rodeo held this past December in Las Vegas. And the guy hosting it all is Tulsa's own Jeff Metters, the Geronimo Productions. Jeff will be here to talk about rodeo and about some Oklahoma champions in the NFR. And special event coming up, and our good friend Wayne McCombs will be here.
Well, you know, Wayne McCombs does a tremendous job over in Claremore. For the 14th year, he has put on the Field of Dreams baseball banquet, and that's coming up Monday, January the 14th. And it's an evening that you, if you like baseball, if you like to visit with people that have played professional baseball, you need to go, because that is one fine night.
He's got a famous former New York Yankee going to be a special guest. We'll talk about that when we have Wayne on the show. Coach?
And of course, we have our Pathways Panthers, the Oklahoma Special Olympics, which takes place in Edmond in January. And then, of course, we have our good friend, Mr. Jimmy Zague himself, Barry Lewis, who will give us the information on the coach and the student athlete of the month and the Primeaux Mitsubishi student athlete and coach of the month.
Looking forward to all that, but first, guys, a lot of talk about our big round table discussions here. I guess it starts with money, 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 and that Lincoln Riley is about to get a big raise, I hear.
You know, he was at what, 4.2.
Yeah,
and
that's million.
The million, and I think the level in the Big 12 now is above 5. So I'm thinking probably 5, 6.
Yeah, he was our 4th highest paid coach, I guess.
Right.
Just in his first 2 years, coach, not too bad. 24-2, 2 Big 12 championships back to back, and 2 appearances in the Final Four of college football.
Well, you can't beat that. I mean, but you know, I'm going to go back here just a second. When they talk about the money all the time, that was professional sports and everything really designed in the beginning for this extreme salaries and things that they're paying.
Who would have thought?
I mean, I think there's a point in time, and don't misunderstand me, I'm not saying that they shouldn't get paid, but I think there should be something devoted back to the game they play, because after all, we who are not playing love to watch it.
I think one of the things in that vein, and I have not been on this side of the coin at all about paying players, but I think we've gotten to a point in intercollegiate athletics where the salaries of the coaches have gotten so grotesquely large.
Wow. Agree.
What do we do for those student athletes? I mean, you know, room, board, books, and tuition. You know, when I was a student athlete at a Division I school, we got room, board, books, and tuitions at $15 a month for laundry. Well, they don't even give them the $15 a month now. Now, they have increased it to the cost of attendance, which exceeds what a full scholarship would be. But even at that, when you have your head coach making $5, $6, $8 million in some cases a year, and your coordinators are making $1.2 million a year to direct 18 through 22-year-olds, and they draw those people to the stadium. I mean, can you imagine what a payday is at a Division 1A power conference school with concessions, gate receipts, cloth, everything that's sold on that campus, on that particular facility that day? It's amazing that we haven't gotten to this point where we do compensate the actual performers who's actually doing the work out there. So I don't know how much would be legal or how much would be fair, but I'm telling you this, the one problem that they have, and I'll tell you why they went to cost of attendance. They went to cost of attendance because if you play football and you get a stipend for playing football, what do you get for playing lacrosse?
Yeah, sure, that's difficult.
You got to pay everybody if you're going to pay them. So, and I think that's what's held everybody up, because if it got that way in Division II, I tell you, most Division IIs couldn't pay. They can't pay cost of attendance in Division II. I mean, that's enough money above, you know, so the Division I Power Fives are the only ones that can do that.
Well, you know, you're talking about the money and all. To me, baseball has really done a lot to help it from a collegiate level. The fact that if you come on to a Division I school for 3 years, you're through. You got to play baseball.
Right.
they come in, especially in basketball, and maybe play 1 year, and then they're gone. Now, what do they do from an education standpoint that 1 year?
The one and done is the one and done is the worst thing in college athletics today.
Yep.
Well, we just wrapped up the bowl season with the national championship game on Monday night, of course, and for the Big 12, not a bad bowl season, Coach. 4-3 wins by TCU and Baylor, by Oklahoma State and Texas. And of course, one loss that stands out to the Oklahoma fans, the semifinal loss to Alabama, and just a tough start to that game, Coach.
But tough start, got back 28 zip, and you get down 4 touchdowns. I'm going to tell you, you know, when I was coaching, one of the things was we weren't going to pour it on when we got 4 touchdowns ahead. We started substituting that. That was kind of the litmus test.
Right.
With an offense the way it's run today, though, you never know. If 4 touchdowns may not be enough.
And Oklahoma scored, what, 4 of the last 6 possessions they had?
And 5 of the last 6.
Okay, wow.
5 of the last 6. So I'm just telling you, and I thought, interesting commentary last night I was listening to after the game, and they were talking about the offenses now, the spread offenses, that have now spread into the National Football League. You know, which, my God, you ever thought, you never see an option offense in the National Football, but you do see the option pitch.
Sure.
And, you know, quarterbacks running the ball more. I think offenses, the rules favor offense. There's no question.
Yes.
If I can block you by holding you and keeping, as long as my hands stay inside my shoulder pads, I got a definite advantage.
Sure.
So we're going to see more and more of that, I think.
What's your thoughts on that national championship game with Clemson destroying Alabama? 44-16, worst loss, 28-point loss in Nick Saban's history. Clemson finishes the first major modern college football team 15-0.
Well, I'm kind of a popular person with the group that I know, because they were wanting to know, okay, you know so much about who is going to win. And I said, well, I go back and think one thing. I don't care how many times you win, a loss is coming. And when you look at Alabama, I think a loss is coming. Don't ask me about the players, nothing. I'm just saying it happens. And what? It happened.
Well, I don't think that their defense was as good as it has been in the past. And I think that Sweeney had a tremendous plan in that game to attack.
Oh, yeah.
They had 2 freshman cornerbacks.
Yeah.
Just think, a year ago they were worried about the senior prom. I mean, and now he's on the stage of the biggest college football game of the year.
How about that Auburn quarterback?
Well,
freshman,
he is
19 years old. Trevor Lawrence, the first freshman, no, the second freshman, because we had one at Oklahoma. Jamel Holloway won the 86 Orange Bowl when OU's 85 national championship team. First freshman did. Now Trevor Lawrence did it in the game Monday night.
I thought defensively that they really played great. The coach that was used to be at
Venables.
That used to be at OU, that was the defensive coordinator.
Making $2 million now, by the way, as an assistant.
Well, he was having a time on the sideline. I mean, I wouldn't want to have been close to him. But the fact was that they really were well prepared.
I think there were, and you know, there's been a lot of conjecture about why he has not been really a head coach at a Division I school. But you know, if you're happy where you are, your son is on the football team with him. You know, he's a freshman on the football team. He's making $2 million. Why do you want to trade that for even a lower level, a $3.5 million that you're not going to have a chance to play? You know, I mean, that's the one thing is a holdup I think about Dana Holgorsen going to Houston.
How about that?
They don't have a chance to play. I mean, the AAC, unfortunately, is in a situation where they would have to. Well, we've seen Florida, Central Florida, go undefeated and still not have a chance.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that it would have to be a very, very special job that would get Brent Venables to leave. And I think in that job, and this is the thing that's interesting, it would have to be a job that normally a sitting head coach would get. And some athletic director and president are going to have to take a chance and say, we're going to pick up a defensive coordinator.
OU went to Ohio State to get their new defensive coordinator, a guy that has a lot of credentials, Alex Grinch. They did a great job at Washington State for Mike Leach. So we'll see what happens with that. Coach, we wrapped up a championship event, and you guys spent a great holiday, did a fabulous job of hosting the Tournament of Champions. Give us kind of wrap up of that and a very successful event.
You know, we had our best first day in 10 years in attendance, the quality of the student athlete was incredible. On Friday night, we had all 4 Division I head coaches in the state of Oklahoma in the arena to watch the game. I'm just telling you, when you got that kind of quality, you know you're going to have great games, and we did. Some of the surprises to me, frankly, Kingfisher.
Yeah.
Kingfisher is as good a 4A team as there is, and I know, you know, Tulsa Central's in there, but I'm going to tell you, Kingfisher is well coached. They run the floor really well. They shoot really well.
Yes.
That was a big surprise. I think having Booker T and Memorial in the finals was great for TPS.
Yeah.
And it was a good win for the Hornets. And I'll tell you, the Muldrow girls, you talk about a machine, and every one of them come back this next year.
That's 4A. They beat a 6A team, Edmond Memorial.
Edmond Memorial, who was undefeated
That's
at the
right.
time.
Yeah.
And we've already invited Muldrow back for next year.
Sure.
Yeah.
You must have been impressed. We got that Booker T. Washington matchup in Memorial.
Yeah, I think you can see that one coming.
Yeah.
And the fact that they'll play again. No, they're through, aren't they?
They won't play again.
They won't have to play
Different
again.
classes.
That was a tremendous game. But, you know, you're talking about the Muldrow girls. I can't remember seeing a girls team that all five could score from inside and outside. How would you defense them?
You couldn't. You know, and that was the thing. And what was so great for one of my assistant ADs, Jen Sanders, the head coach at Muldrow, she's from Muldrow, was her assistant coach when she played basketball there. And she was so excited and so happy for her kids. But I tell you, I think we saw in that tournament, probably in the boys and girls together, we saw probably 8 potential state champions when we get to March, because they're good enough to win.
Great event, Coach. 54 tournament champions. Great job by the Tulsa Public Schools, and an incredible event. We'll be back with another big event coming up. It's indoor car racing. That's right. Emmett Hahn will tell you all about it next on Oklahoma Sportscene, presented by Jimmy's Egg.
Welcome to Jimmy's Egg. Come on in.
For more than 30 years, Jimmy's Egg has been starting people's day off right with hot, fresh, made-to-order food. Our eggs are fresh, cracked to order every time, and there are over 40,000 ways to craft your own omelet. With signature favorites like our meat lover's skillet or decadent cinnamon roll pancakes, you won't leave hungry. Breakfast and lunch is available every day from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., so stop in today and let our friendly staff serve you.
Stop by and see us sometime.
Oklahoma Sportscene wants to welcome our newest title sponsor, SNB Burger Joints, the home of fresh-made gourmet burgers and sliders, great sides, hand-dipped milkshakes, root beer and soda floats, and delicious homemade pies. All served with a fun and friendly staff, and we feature a full-service bar with over 65 beers and our unique Bloody Marys. SNB Burger Joint in the Oklahoma City area and coming soon to Tulsa.
Every minute, every day, and every night, there's someone who needs us. Every week and every year, we bring something new to the way we care for individuals and our communities. Every thought and every action is spent improving the way we imagine health and wellness. Because every child, every woman, and every man deserves the best possible life. St. Francis Health System. Healthcare for life.
It's Chili Bowl time in Oklahoma. That means Emmett Hahn is here to visit with us, and already underway with the shootout just completed. The big races are coming up. Emmett, welcome to Oklahoma Sportscene, and what an incredible event Chili Bowl has become.
It is amazing. I've told people over the years I wasn't smart enough to make it work. I just need to be smart enough not to mess it up.
Just finished the shootout, won by a Californian. Some local guys gave a pretty good run, though.
Yeah, in fact, we had 5 first-time winners. We had them from California and back east, and I think grandson was the only one that was repeat winner.
Oh, very nice.
And he is now won 8 of them drillers, which is the most anybody's ever won. So kind of proud of little Duber, and you know, that cost somebody some money, right?
He's got the butt lines for it. You go back a long ways with this guy too, huh?
You know, the thing that always comes to my mind, Emmett, is the fact that when you first started driving, you were a competitor. I mean, if you didn't win, you weren't happy.
No.
But at the same time, all of the drivers, they may have a fight, but afterwards they got together again and had a good time. Has that followed through all these years?
Not as much as it was back then. It's still that way to a point, but nowadays you've got, I tell everybody, the modern day racer that we have racing with us, we have 100 daddies with a lot of money, Put your kid, buys the best equipment available, and out of them 100, you get one of them that can drive a race car, and I got 99 of them complaining to me. And it's still fun. I enjoy it, or I wouldn't be doing our ASCS sprint car series, but it's not like it used to be, JV.
Well, I know one thing for sure. You had so much fun down at the outdoor track at Sapulpa. It was just a delight to go down there and stay till midnight.
I tell you what, we had a race at the end of the season over there, our fall fling, had the most people in there that has ever been on that property. We had a national, ASCS national thing and a midget show out there. We had over 1,000 people in the pits, and I mean, for Creek County, that's a lot of people.
January 14th to 19th, the Chili Bowl races, the 33rd edition. We have 7 class open wheel races. Talk about the program.
Well, this year, Chris, we've our car count has got so large that the last 2 or 3 years, our race has been over with at 15, 11, and 11 o'clock at night. And the people that come down here, they want to see some good racing, be able to go out to eat and party or whatever. Yeah. So we added another preliminary night. So now then we got Monday through Friday. So we divide the field up. Instead of having 90 cars on a qualifying night, now then we're down to about 65. Helps the racetrack, gets the races over earlier, and kind of lets us divide our hot dogs up a little bit. So it really is a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, it's nice.
You got entries from all over the world?
I think all over the United States, about 5 countries. And I'll tell you what shocked me. Tony Stewart sent us a deal a 3 weeks ago. 5 of NASCAR's competition people is coming up to the Chili Bowl. And then we got a gentleman that's the competition director for Formula One that's coming to the Chili Bowl, and I'm thinking, these guys go to races all the time. What are they coming to this Chili Bowl for? But it's, I think they just hear so many of their drivers talk about it that they just, like Roger Penske.
Yeah.
He said, when I get to Daytona, he said, that's all these kids are talking about is the Chili Bowl. So we had him as Grand Marshal, and he just wanted to come up here and see it, just see what it's all about.
Talk about some of the big names that have been here through the years, some of the great drivers in sport.
Jeff Gordon, 18th is the best he could finish. You know, of course, Tony Stewart. Gosh, the list goes on. I mean,
I heard you,
Ricky Stenhouse. I didn't care about Ricky, but he brought his girlfriend Danica.
Oh,
you know,
Danica
and so
Patrick,
she was spectating. Right. Yeah.
I understand there's a father-son team from Tasmania or someplace like that, or coming to this race this year?
Yes.
Unbelievable. Incredible.
And, you know, and we have spectators that come over from London. And I mean, they come over here because this is one of the very few races that's not going to get rained out, so they can spend the money, you know, and now the roof may leak, but we're not going to get rained out.
Talk about the setup to get this track ready. That's quite a procedure. How many loads of, 9 dump trucks, I understand, brought dirt in for that track?
Yeah, we brought in about 700 loads, and then you got 300 of the jersey barriers that you put around it, and the poles, the cable. The trick to this deal is this year, us and the boat show is real close. And so all of this has to be out of their bleachers and everything by noon Monday. So when this race is over, we got a major crew coming in to get everything out of there. So that will, if we accomplish that, then we can say we're a winner.
How many local people do you have as racing in this?
Oh gosh. Out of our 355 entries, we probably have close to 100 that come. They came up through Port City, Creek County, our sprint car series, and it's just like a shootout. I mean, that the people that's there, then in a couple of years they're at the Chili Bowl, you know. So it's just a stepping stone.
355 is way up from what it's been, or about the same?
That's not the highest, but it's probably the second highest. And if you get a dirt track in the summertime that can give them up here and get them 40 midgets in a field, they think they're having a good night. Yeah. And when you think about 355, they're doing all this racing all week just to get in, trying to make a 24-car field. And I mean, that's I remember Christopher Bell, he was sitting on a pole somewhere and it's talking about him getting nervous. He said, no, nervous is when you're getting ready for a heat race at the Chili Bowl and you got to make the show.
Over 1,000 drivers, 30 states, 5 foreign countries. 7 drivers in this field have won that Golden Driller Trophy. That's what it's all about, of course, including a guy who's coming back time for a 3-peat, right?
I'll tell you what, that Christopher Bell, he's from Norman, Oklahoma. He's made it big in NASCAR. And what I like about Christopher Bell, he is a good, well-mannered, polite kid. And he can drive a race car. But this Kyle Larson, he's wanting to win this race so bad. And he blew an engine last year leading it. So he's going to be setting on go this year.
Damian Swindell's the name I remember, of course, a 5-time champion.
Yes.
He's still racing this?
He still races in it. You know, I know he's got a few left turns at him. They're just not as quick as they used to be. I mean, he's not a spring chicken now. I think Sammy's getting up around 58, 59 years old, but he still wins a lot of races.
Owners, too. I was impressed. Keith Coons is in here with 11 entries going for an 8th car owner's title in the Chili Bowl. My gosh.
Keith Coons is Mr. Midget.
Yeah.
And I got to take my hat off to him. He's developing some drivers, some of them from the West Coast and whatever. And he gets them and they can run a whole season and end up with a Chili Bowl. And he's getting him about $350,000 fee for this, and he's got 11 of them. So the only thing wrong with that is I'm not part of it.
Well, give us some ticket information. Can you get tickets to the Chili Bowl?
That's a good thing, Chris.
Yeah.
With this new Monday night, the only one, we just make our ticket holders, we just hold their feet to the fire on Wednesday through Saturday.
Right.
All them reserve seats are sold out. But Monday and Tuesday, we got lots of reserve seats, and that's the only time that you can get a reserve seat. Tuesday night, we have our VacuWorks Race of Champions, which is an added bonus. The rest of the time, we got about 2,500 seats for our pit people. It's first come, first serve. Right. So, I mean, you can buy a pit pass and come in and get a place to sit. And, of course, we got our big screens all over the building.
And the air ventilation system is working?
It is. They, at Defense of the Fairgrounds, they have spent some money on the air quality out there. I mean, it is excellent. It really is. I mean, they put fans in at the west end and got them down to the east end sucking that stuff out. So it really is good. Now I have a little building down there at that east end that the CO level in there is 0.
Give us the times again, and people come out there and enjoy the Chili Bowl.
Well, why would you ask me about times? I don't know anything. I think they start racing at 5 o'clock each evening. They start hot lapping about 4:15. Hot lapped at 5. Should be over with by 10 o'clock.
Emmett, congratulations again on the Chili Bowl. Great success. Great for the city of Tulsa. Again, people from 30 states, 5 foreign countries, all for the greatest indoor racing you can find. The Chili Bowl, 34th annual. Emmett, thanks for joining us on Oklahoma Sportscene. We got something for you.
Right here, Jimmy's Egg.
All right, thank you. Can I go there now?
There? Heck, anytime. That's right. 6 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Yeah, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. You get a hamburger or a fried egg.
All right. Well, thank you.
Well, Chili Bowl is the best of the dirt racing. We got the best of the Cowboys. National Finals Rodeo host Jeff Metter is going to join us next on Oklahoma Sportscene.
March Madness. There's nothing like it. The road to the Final Four goes through Tulsa. The 2019 NCAA Men's Basketball first and second rounds, March 22nd and 24th at BOK Center in Tulsa.
Beautifully done. Deep splash. Feeling it today.
Visit ncaa.com/MBB tickets and get your seats today.
At Bricktown Brewery, we're known for our famous original craft beers like Single String Stout and Bluesberry Ale. Did you know we also brew our own root beer at our Oklahoma City brewhouse? It's called Attaboy Root Beer, and you'll love it no matter what your age. Just ask for a Bricktown Kids menu with all the favorites for our guests 12 and under. Bricktown Brewery opens every day at 11 a.m.
At Rogers State University, we keep things personal.
It all starts here.
We make sure our graduates get the most out of their education.
RSU has campuses in Claremore, Bartlesville, and Pryor, with on-campus housing and a wide variety of programs to suit your needs.
It all starts here.
Rogers State University.
Welcome back to Oklahoma Sportscene, presented by Jimmy Zig, and our great friend Jeff Medicine is here, host of the National Finals Rodeo. We've done a lot of work through the years together, Jeff, of Channel 2, Winter Communications. Your great job with your Geronimo production.
Oh, thanks. It was a good run in December. The Oklahomans fared very well, and yeah, you and I go back a long ways.
Those guys know you pretty well too.
Yep.
You know, Jeff, when I watch you on television, and the bull riding that is now available to watch is unbelievable to what it used to be, say, 50 years ago.
Yeah, and see, you got a little history there. Would you try it today if you were a young man? That's my question
No.
to you. No.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, my son's joked about, hey, I just want to get on a bull to say I did it. And I was like, yeah, no.
Well, you know, riding a bull, as long as his front feet are on the ground, you've got an opportunity to stay above it. Just dodge the horn if it comes back. But now they go up all 4 feet.
Oh, man.
They twist and shake. I don't know how they even come close to riding them.
It's wild. And really, the kid from Oklahoma, Sage Kimsey's won 5 straight PRCA world titles. In 2017, you know, he won $1 million. Now, at the PBR, they give you $1 million basically at the end of the season. It's paid out over 10 years. But he literally banked $1 million the year before. I mean, that's how good he really is. So, you know, to watch Sage Kimsey ride, it's kind of like he rides in a box. He didn't get out of this space right here. He's pretty amazing.
Saw that final round 93 score. Got him his fifth title. He's 24 years old. And I saw your graphic. Donnie Gay, of course, 8-time world champion. And Jim Shoulders, 7-time world champion. Gil, we have some connection with Jim Shoulders.
Jim Shoulders will be going into the TPS Athletics Hall of Fame. He was a football and basketball player at East Central High School. And it was really funny when I called his wife, Sharon and Henrietta. I said, you know, we're going to have Jim go into the TPS Athletics Hall of Fame. And she said, well, that's great. I bet you don't even know what my husband did. And I said, well, yes, I do. He was 16-time world champion. She said, well, how did you know that? And I said, well, I'm 72 years old. I've been around a while. She said, well, you don't sound 72. I can tell you my 2 seconds on a bull was in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I was playing football at the University of New Mexico, and every spring they had Fiesta Week. And Fiesta Week ended up with a rodeo at the end. And there were 2 guys from Oklahoma, Jim Bailey and me. We were the only 2 guys from Oklahoma. And they said, well, you guys are from Oklahoma. You surely can ride a bull. I said, surely. And after a few of those things that come from Golden, Colorado, I was able to get on that bull. And I lasted 2 seconds. And that's my last time, and will be my last time forever.
I rode a bull, Buford. Remember Jim Shoulders' bull he had in the Miller Lite commercials and stuff?
Yeah.
Put me on that thing. That was just enough for me, just walking around on them.
Not to step on anybody's toes, but the only one of you 3 that's built to be a bull rider is JV.
Yeah.
Bull riders they're smaller, less arms and legs to get out of the way of those bulls. And you know, the first time I met Jim Shoulders, by the way, I was working at Channel 2, but I was already doing the rodeo stuff on ESPN, and I used to do a thing on Saturdays where I'd go to different events, and I'm just wearing like golf shirt and shorts and stuff. And I come face to face with Jim, and he's like, dude, where is the rest of your pants? And he was a tough individual. He's just a tough individual. Yeah.
No, I was fortunate enough to host the WinterCom National Finals a few years, and they tried to put me in a cowboy hat, and just didn't work, Jeff.
It's you know, it's
you wear it well.
Well, I try. You know, I grew up on a ranch in Southeast Oklahoma, down in Tallahassee. Right? Yeah, grew up riding horses and stuff. Yeah. So you know, it's kind of old hat.
Well, let's focus on this event. It was December 6th to 15th. The greatest cowboys in the world, the greatest rodeo in the world. The National Finals Rodeo goes back to 1959. 85, though, home in Las Vegas. And they say it's the hottest ticket in Vegas.
It's a tough ticket. It's the biggest 10 days of the year in Las Vegas, if you can believe that. They used to repaint casinos and rooms and recarpet and all that stuff because December was so dead. And now it's, you know, Michael Gahn will tell you at South Point, it's the biggest month that he has all year long.
Talk about the Oklahoma Cowboys we're going to see in some of the video here and some of their performances.
Well, yeah, I kind of mentioned Sage Kimsey. You have Riley Duvall, and Chakotah, Oklahoma claims to be the home of steer wrestling.
It is.
And it was great to see a steer wrestler back at the National Finals from Chakotah. And Riley had a pretty good Wrangler NFR, not quite what he was hoping for, but it was great to see him back there. It's not the first time he'd been there. Clay Smith from Broken Bow, Oklahoma. It was really a big fight in the team roping in terms of who was going to win. And Clay Smith and Paul Eves, they wound up beating Caleb Driggers and Junior Nagata in what was really a 10-round shootout. And it was good to see he was the other cowboy from Oklahoma that wound up winning a world championship. You have Kylie Weiss. She was really good. You know, she was a barrel racer. She's from Comanche, Oklahoma. She wound up top 10 in the world when it was all said and done. And then Ryan Jarrett he's an interesting guy. He's originally from Georgia. Now he lives in Comanche, Oklahoma. He won the all-around world title in 2005. What's wild about him is he strings from the belt. See those tie-down ropers have that picking string in their mouth when they leave the box. But, you know, he strings from the belt, which is a little bit different. But those were the cowboys and cowgirl that were leading the parade at the NFR this year.
And I tell you, it's just not National Finals Rodeo for you. It's rodeo year-round. Talk about your Geronimo Productions and how many rodeos you're doing now, Jeff.
Yeah, we do the PRCA's regular season on CBS Sports Network. We also do Tough Hedeman's Bull Riding Series, which airs on a couple of different networks. Tough's kind of spun off on his own.
Right.
And I've created my own original show. It's called Bullseye. It'll be on CBS Sports Network. It's a lot like David Faherty in terms of golf,
right?
You know, but it's doing it with the cowboys and cowgirls because there's so many great stories that just aren't being told. And I think you kind of look at creating a fan base that's bigger than, you know, the tiny universe that's pro rodeo.
When does that start?
It starts first quarter of this year. And Tough Hedeman actually is the first one that I did.
Oh, nice.
I'm trying to capitalize. You know, I've been doing it since 1991. And obviously I know the young stars that are coming up. But I mean, I have so many great relationships because it's different than, it's a little bit like golf. You know, it's not like the NFL where, you know, people are being suspended and the media and the sport clash a little bit. I have such great friendships that I've built, you know, since 1991. It's a chance to go sit down with them and talk about more than what's going on in the arena and things down that line. And, you know, with Tough Hedeman in the first one, he's so much to it that, you know, you couldn't do it in one show. It's you know, everything that's happened big in bull riding centers around Tough Hedeman. He was there when they formed the PBR. His rivalry with Bodacious, and Bodacious pretty much tearing him up. Him leaving the PBR. That's just a microcosm of who he is. And I laugh. I wouldn't let my daughter date him, but his character, you know, and who he is fantastic. He is tough. He's cowboy tough. And if he tells you it's going to rain tomorrow, bring an umbrella.
You talk about cowboy tough. One of my favorite parts of the show is the Justin Healer update of the injuries. This guy has a neck. This guy thought his shoulder. Riding, yes, these are tough guys.
Yeah, it's weird, you know. torn ACL, MCL, still competing.
Strap him on.
Yeah, broken this, broken that, still competing. You know, and Sage Kimsey didn't have a great NFR.
Yeah.
But he came in with a giant lead, and you know, it was weird because you love great stories. You know, storylines, because you and I'll make them up because we're on television.
Yeah, exactly.
We have to have something to talk about. But he had a huge lead coming in, and he mathematically going into round 10, he still hadn't clinched it. The guy that he was battling with, if everybody bucked off, and he rode, the guy that he was battling with rode and won all the money, he would have beat him for the world title, and we were laughing about it. And had the first guy not ridden, that's exactly what would have happened. Sage would have got on that bull needing to ride or he would lose the world title. And he wound up, you know, that guy rode it, his competitor rode, and Sage rode. So it was still a pretty good storyline, but it's weird how that one almost came to be, but Sage finished it with a...
Yeah, great job, the National Finals Rodeo.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Geronimo Productions, all your success at Rodeo. We have something for you here, too, Cowboy.
Be sure and go by Jimmy's Egg.
You betcha. Bon Wynn's a good friend of mine.
That's right.
I love Jimmy's Egg. Yeah, you bet. Thanks so much.
Best to the family, too. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Oklahoma
Thanks for thinking of me.
Got to talk about Jimmy's Egg for a second right here. Of course, Jeff knows that's where to go, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. Breakfast, lunch, whatever you want, anytime. In fact, some of the features coming up I want to tell you about. Now have a dedicated menu for guests. Doesn't affect you, Jeff, yet. 55 plus. 3 of us here. We really appreciate that, by the way. You can ask Gil Cott about the cinnamon roll.
Cinnamon roll's great, I guarantee you.
Oh, my gosh. And how about free pancakes? Well, we can tell you about that. Download their new app. You'll get on exclusive deals, get rewards, a free meal. Becky and I were in there last week. Got on the app, got our free sack of pancakes. So enjoy Jimmy's Egg. Again, welcome from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. anytime, anywhere across the state of Oklahoma.
Welcome to Jimmy's Egg. Come on in.
For more than 30 years, Jimmy's Egg has been starting people's day off right with hot, fresh, made-to-order food. Our eggs are fresh, cracked to order every time, and there are over 40,000 ways to craft your own omelet. With signature favorites like our meat lover's skillet or decadent cinnamon roll pancakes, you won't leave hungry. Breakfast and lunch is available every day from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., so stop in today and let our friendly staff serve you.
Stop by and see us sometime.
Each week we talk about the GTR, and we know for a fact that Forrest Cameron and his wife Sharon put out a tremendous paper. Well, I brought all 6 of them today. I'd like for you to see them. The Union Bound Dairy. And here is the Owasso Rambler. And if you live in Bixby, how about the Bixby Breeze? Or Broken Arrow, the Broken Arrow Express, Jinx, District, Gazette, and then, of course, the Tulsa Midtown. All of those, the GTR. If you haven't had an opportunity to read one, do it, and you'll be proud of it.
Great news. Primeaux Mitsubishi is again #1 in sales in Oklahoma. I've made some key changes. Next time you come in, you'll see some very familiar faces. Mitsubishi has increased discounts on all 2018 Mitsubishis. Save up to $3,000 on the all-new Eclipse Cross and up to $4,000 on other models. All Mitsubishis come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Come see us at Primeaux Mitsubishi, 15309 South Memorial, or on the web at PrimeauxMitsubishi.com.
It's one of the great winter events we all look forward to. It's the 14th annual Field of Dreams Baseball Banquet, held in Claremore every year. Our good friend Wayne McCombs, the man behind this thing. A very special event and a very special guest this year, Wayne. Now tell us first about the event, give us some of the information, any tickets available still.
Well, the Claremore Field of Dreams was set up 14 years ago because I wasn't very good with helping the guys work on the field or working on the dugout or building things. And so I thought, well, how am I going to help out? And I thought, well, I know a few ball players. Maybe we could have a little dinner and maybe we could raise $1,000. Well, it's grown ever since then, so we're extremely fortunate to have great guests and great baseball people come help us out.
January 14th at the Claremore Conference Center. Always have great food there, too. I remember that.
Well, right. Hammond House is our caterer, and it's just great. And the menu's terrific.
Give us some of the past celebrity baseball players who have been part of this.
Okay. In the past, we've been very fortunate of getting not only ball players that were great on the field, but great speaking and with the public and, you know, having a great love for the game. So they're helping out some other baseball players. But we've had Frank White from the Royals, Dale Murphy from the Braves. Ralph Terry has been so popular, he's been there twice as our guest speaker. And what stories he has told us about Casey Stengel and Mantle and Vera and those things, just been hilarious. And then we've also had Bobby Richardson, what an inspirational speaker. He talked about Mickey Mantle's salvation while he was in the hospital, almost dying. Just a tremendous story. Not a dry eye in the house when he told that. But we've had other great guests. We have Gary Ward. He was tremendous speaking. Gary Ward. We've had Jim Sundberg. We've had Al Raboski, which was terrific. We've also had Bill Necro. We've had Bucky Dent.
Yeah.
So we try to get players that people all know and would enjoy coming, but we got to be careful that they're also extremely fan-friendly.
Yeah.
So, but our special guest is Chris Chambliss. Most people remember him from his days with the Yankees and hitting that famous home run in the 1976 American League playoffs that just went crazy with the fans. So he'll be here. He's a really, really terrific guy, and it's going to be great to have him.
What's the benefit of the baseball Field of Dreams?
Well, every penny goes to three baseball programs. One is Rogers State University, and they are Division II, and they're moving to a new conference next year. And they play great baseball, got great facilities up there at Rogers State. Then also the Claremore Baseball Summer Program and the Claremore High School Baseball Program. They've been quite successful. The coaches have been terrific the last 15, 20 years or so, where Claremore's had competitive teams, won several state championships, came in second last year, darn. But anyway, to help that program. You know, insurance is sky high, and buying this and buying that, it all adds up. But that field was there when I was in school. I played on the field, not very well, but I played on the field, so it's kind of my turn to make sure that this generation has a great place to play baseball, and then it'll be their turn in a few years.
And I like the baseball field because you have a roof over it. You don't have to sit out in the sun, or so many of the high school that you go to anymore, you are sitting out in the sun. That's a great field, and but your banquet, when you walk in there, you have a different feeling because every one of those professional people that you bring, they are so friendly and so warm to everyone. It's just a great night.
Well, thank you. Almost everyone I contact, I'd be glad to be there. Everybody's very congenial and wanting to come, and that's the difference. If you want to come and have fun, people can tell. But we've had people come years and years and years and enjoy it, and we're just so appreciative that they come.
Well, I know a big part of the evening too is your memorabilia items you have on. You have, of course, Henry Primeaux, our guy, brings great memorabilia items on this show. We always love, but you got some great items, some autograph items. And I'm a little concerned though. Now, is Big Al Jerkins? He's going to be back for this one or not?
Big Al he contacted me yesterday.
Yeah.
He's on his way.
Good.
He will be here Monday night. We happen to have a few Yankee items.
Exactly.
To give away. But a couple of years ago, you remember he was outbid on one of the Bucky Dent items.
That's right.
That famous home run. There was a big photo, and he was outbid for that. Well, after it was over, we found another picture, and Bucky Dent said, "Al, I'll sign this one for you."
Oh.
And Al just went crazy. The place started laughing, and it was just really a lot of fun. But the Field of Dreams again is totally everything goes to those three programs.
Yeah, I'm sure some pretty good items, a few Yankee items. I'm sure
we have a few Yankee items. We have in the memorabilia business, when you have a very nice baseball that's signed, looks really nice. They kind of call that a pearl. We have a pearl Mickey Mantle ball is beautiful, authenticated, and it's great. So we hope Al gets in the joy of bidding for a Mickey Mantle ball. We have some things from Tiger Woods. We have other things other than baseball, but
football things, I'm sure too.
We do. We do have some things from Baker Mayfield. So we have other things too. Whatever sells, we're ready to we're ready to go. But that's one of the things that makes our banquet extra special. I would rate our memorabilia auction the best of any charity auction in this area.
Give us the information again, the date, the time, and can we still get some tickets?
Yes, we do. We have one table left of 8.
Wow.
So you can contact Paul Pixley at Pixley Lumber in Claremore. The date is Monday, January 14th, the 14th annual Claremore Field of Dreams Baseball Banquet. Special guest is Chris Chambliss, who has a little Tulsa background. He played in the minor leagues with Wichita when Wichita and Tulsa was in the American Association, played here in town, and then he also played at UCLA against Tulsa in the College World Series. I asked Gene Shell about it, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I remember he got up there with the bases loaded, great big guy. I shut my eyes." But Steve Rogers struck him out.
Wayne, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
There's always a special event. We got something for you here too as well.
Yes,
great.
We do. Jimmy's Egg.
Oh,
On your way
okay.
home today, you can go buy Jimmy's Egg.
That's terrific. That's great. Thank you so much.
And I'm going to tell you about the special Jimmy's Eggs right now. In fact, we mentioned that special free pancakes. Who can't pass that up? Download their new app. You'll get their exclusive deals, earn rewards for a free meal, short on time, or you can order online and get your meal ready to go for you. Search Jimmy's Egg Tulsa to find us the app and get on that information there. Also, of course, 22 company locations. We have 3 in the Tulsa area, 17 in the Oklahoma City metro area there. Again, the breakfast, lunch, whatever you want, anytime from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. Jimmy's Egg. And, of course, over 40,000 ways they know how to craft your own omelet. So enjoy Jimmy's Egg.
Welcome to Jimmy's Egg. Come on in.
For more than 30 years, Jimmy's Egg has been starting people's day off right with hot, fresh, made-to-order food. Our eggs are fresh, cracked to order every time, and there are over 40,000 ways to craft your own omelet. With signature favorites like our meat lover's skillet or decadent cinnamon roll pancakes, you won't leave hungry. Breakfast and lunch is available every day from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., so stop in today and let our friendly staff serve you.
Stop by and see us sometime.
March Madness. There's nothing like it. The road to the Final Four goes through Tulsa. The 2019 NCAA Men's Basketball first and second rounds, March 22nd and 24th at BOK Center in Tulsa.
Beautifully done. Deep splash. Feeling it today.
Visit ncaa.com/MBB tickets and get your seats today.
At Robertson Tire, we'll match any deal you find on tires, but customer service remains at the core of our business. That's why we've been voted the very best in all 3 major area publications. Thank you for choosing Robertson Tire for all your auto care needs.
Welcome back to Jimmy's Egg, Oklahoma Sportscene. We have special guests today from Oklahoma Pathways, and they're going to tell us about the Special Olympics in Edmond. Welcome to the set. I think this is Tara, and this is July.
That's right. July Psychos, they're special teacher and coach there. And, of course, Tara's one of the Special Olympic athletes going to be swimming in the competition coming up on the 10th in Emmett, Oklahoma, Special Olympics. And give us a little background of, first, for you, July. I know you've been very involved with the center, first as a volunteer and now as full-time.
I've been with them for almost a year as a full-time teacher, as a coach for Special Olympics, music teacher, kind of do a little bit of everything, but we are training for swimming right
and Tara, you said you've been practicing since August for this event, right? How many of your teammates are going to be with you? And I know you've won ribbons before, right?
Right.
Oh my God! Well, what do you enjoy most about this competition, swimming at the Special Olympics? What's your big event?
Swimming and track.
Oh, very good. And the swimming event, your best is freestyle, I understand, right?
Freestyle.
Wow, my gosh. Well, talk about the competition there and what the Pathway Center is all about and how it helps these young athletes and students.
You know, Special Olympics is such a fantastic vehicle for recreational activities. They're learning sportsmanship. They're learning how to participate as a team. We also have some team relays that they'll be swimming in. And, you know, for so many of the special needs population, a sedentary lifestyle is very typical.
Yeah.
So the practices are keeping me in shape, but they're showing me how it's done. So we start practicing every week, and like she said, we've got several events that we compete in. So that's throughout the year, and it just promotes that healthy lifestyle, and they just love it. It's a lot of fun.
You know, it seems to me like that this is something that is growing in interest throughout the state every year. Is that true?
Absolutely, because I think once students realize this is something that I'm capable of doing, and it's so much fun. There's nothing to be nervous about. Everyone's having a great time. We make friends, we meet people we've never met before, and there's such a welcome atmosphere. It's fun, isn't it? It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I can tell you enjoy this and have fun with it. And again, a lot of work. They're getting ready for a meet like this, right? A lot of practice.
We've been practicing.
What are the practices like, Coach?
So we practice at the Tandy Y, which is very close to Pathways, and we usually start with some warm-up laps. We typically do a lot of freestyle, but they're usually practicing whatever their events might be, and then we do some kickboard work with the flutter boards. So they practice kicking, and then typically we'll practice their exact event. So, you know, a 50 is going to be, well, you're going to go there and back, just so they get used to it.
Right.
And then we spend some time in the, after practice?
Lazy River.
We go to the Lazy River, where we kind of just float and chill for a little bit. So
yeah,
it's great. Yeah.
How many students do you have that are going to go to Edmond?
I have 16 students, and we've got the 25-meter freestyle. Some of them are doing the 50-meter freestyle. I've got a couple doing flotation 25-meter. And then I've got one student who's doing the breaststroke. And we've got the majority of my students do the 25 free. So that's our big hit.
Pathway Panthers coach July Psycho and her special athlete. We're looking forward to her bringing back some ribbons. Right? You can bring some ribbons back to Tulsa? That way. Yeah. Good, Tara. Congratulations. Tara Sample, a Special Olympics athlete in the freestyle in Edmond, coming up on the 10th of January. We'll have a recap report on this video to show you as well. So don't bring us back some ribbons, will you?
I will.
All right. Thank you. Pathway Panthers, good to have them with us here. And we'll have more on Oklahoma Sportscene, so be right back.
Began along a quarter-mile of dirt and dreams in Oklahoma City. Today, with the biggest prize money and the best horses, that glittering quarter-mile is home to the best quarter horse racing on earth. Remington Park proudly presents our biggest quarter horse season ever, celebrating 30 years of hard racing fun. World's best, OKC's own, Remington Park.
Great news, Primeaux Mitsubishi is again #1 in sales in Oklahoma. I've made some key changes. Next time you come in, you'll see some very familiar faces. Mitsubishi has increased discounts on all 2018 Mitsubishis. Save up to $3,000 on the all-new Eclipse Cross and up to $4,000 on other models. All Mitsubishis come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Come see us at Primeaux Mitsubishi, 15309 South Memorial, or on the web at PrimeauxMitsubishi.com.
Back on Oklahoma Sports Scene, Barry Lewis has joined us now from the Toast World. As always, we present our Mitsubishi Player and Coach of the Month. This goes back to the month of December. You'll see on the set here with us, not only the Coach of the Month, but also the Coach of the Year. We'll let Barry Lewis talk about that in a moment. But first, how about our Player of the Month for December, Barry?
All right, our Player of the Month is Booker T. Washington's Bryce Thompson. What a month he had. He averaged 22 points a game, led the Hornets to a record of, they are now 8-1, ranked 3rd in Class 6A, and he capped the month of December with a tremendous 3-game performance in the Tournament of Champions as he averaged 26 points a game. He scored at least 25 in every game as he helped lead Booker T. Washington to the Tournament of Champions title. So Bryce Thompson, one of the state's top juniors and most highly recruited players, is the athlete of the week, of the month.
That's right. Of the month of December. Also now for our Coach of the month of December, not just the month of December, but Tulsa World selected him as Robert Park right here as our Coach of the Year, right?
Yes, this is quite a unique situation where we get to present our Coach of the Month, the award in person. So it's a pleasure to do that. Coach Park led Sperry to its first ever gold ball in football. And tell you what, before the season started, although I think expectations were high in Sperry and locally here, I don't think many people across the state gave Sperry much of a chance to win the state title because they're all saying it was going to be Oklahoma City Millwood. Right. But lo and behold, Sperry wins the state championship. What a season it was. And not only does Sperry win the state title, but the support the Sperry community gave Beggs in the aftermath of the Case and Tolliver tragedy. Sure. What the Sperry and Beggs communities did, that just showed such great sportsmanship, and it was really something to see them play for the state title. And so both communities, it was really, Beggs honored Sperry before the championship game for all the support Sperry and Coach Park gave them, and it was really something to see. So Coach Robert Park from Sperry, who's not only just the football coach, but the wrestling coach, is the Coach of the Month.
And the Coach of the Year 2018. We'll let Gil make the presentation. Henry Primeaux of Mitsubishi, of course, off on this show. But congratulations, Coach. Talk about that incredible run for the Pirates. 14-1 in the state champion.
It was an awesome run. It's still going, and it hadn't stopped in Sperry. Everywhere I go, everybody's shaking hands and things. But, we're excited. We got a good bunch of kids. They worked really hard, and we just kind of got going, got the momentum going, stayed healthy, and went all the way.
19 seasons, head coach, right?
Yes, sir.
Pirates, but wrestling, I heard 25 seasons now?
Right. Been doing both for 19 years.
Wow. Talk about your wrestlers. How's that season going?
Well, a little slow start. We kind of took a few lumps at Cushing this weekend, but look to get going. Got 4 district duels up in Pawhuska this afternoon, so hopefully get it turned around, get it going.
How many of your football players wrestle?
Every wrestler I got in the room of 21 played football except for 3. So that's a big deal.
When you take a look at what's happened in football, first state championship, but you were in the playoffs several times.
Oh, yeah. 15 of the 19 years, we quarters 3 or 4 times, and then finally got over that hurdle and just kept it going. So, yeah, we're pretty proud of that.
Barry, I was interested. I read your article on Coach Park here. Incredible to me. Involved as an athlete or a coach in 10 of Sperry's 18 state titles, and his son is an all-state honorable mention, right?
Yes, absolutely. Seemed like whenever Sperry needed a big play, he was making his share. He certainly came up with several big plays, including one in the state championship game, big interception late in the first half that led to the touchdown that gave Sperry the lead it would never relinquish.
Quite a history, though. 10 of the 18 state titles that school has won. You've been involved in. Talk about that, Coach.
Won 3 in baseball, playing for Coach Fisher, and got a couple there in wrestling, and as assistant coach, got a couple in wrestling, one in baseball. So, we've been close. It's my first one as a head coach, so, pretty excited.
Robert Park, he is our December Coach of the Month in Oklahoma, and as the Tulsa World named him, he is Oklahoma's 2018 High School Football Coach of the Year. We have not just a plaque, something else for you here too, Coach.
Hey, Coach.
Making a trip from Sperry.
Yes, sir.
Jimmy's Egg, you'll love that.
Okay,
Of
thank
course,
you.
Sperry is all Jimmy's Egg.
All right, absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll be back with parting shots. Stay with us here on Oklahoma Sportscene, presented by Jimmy's Egg.
Welcome to Jimmy's Egg. Come on in.
For more than 30 years, Jimmy's Egg has been starting people's day off right with hot, fresh, made-to-order food. Our eggs are fresh, cracked to order every time, and there are over 40,000 ways to craft your own omelet. With signature favorites like our meat lovers skillet or decadent cinnamon roll pancakes, you won't leave hungry. Breakfast and lunch is available every day from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., so stop in today and let our friendly staff serve you.
Stop by and see us sometime.
March Madness. There's nothing like it. The road to the Final Four goes through Tulsa. The 2019 NCAA Men's Basketball first and second rounds, March 22nd and 24th at BOK Center in Tulsa.
Beautifully done. Deep splash. Feeling it today.
Visit ncaa.com/MBB tickets and get your seats today.
As always, we wrap up Oklahoma Sportscene with our parting shots. Here's Coach Cloud.
You know, I talked earlier in the show about the money involved in Division I athletics. It was almost grotesque to hear last night that a ticket to the national championship college championship football game was $1,700. That is absolutely ridiculous when you take two teams from the East Coast, basically, and have them fly 2,500 miles to a location that's a non-collegiate atmosphere, and then charge them $1,700 a ticket to get in. I think we've lost the relevance of college athletics and what we're there for. And I almost have to agree with people who laugh now and say student athletes, you know, because are they really? The one and done in basketball has proliferated the basketball scene to the point that you almost hate to even worry about a team that's going to win. And I just think that we're going to reach a point at some point in time where it's not going to be relevant. And if the TV money ever goes away, the college athletics scene will be hurt.
Davey?
Well, I would like to ask you if you have the same feeling I have in regard to the officiating in professional football and professional basketball. It seems to me every time a whistle blows, every time a call is made, that suddenly they all start fussing about it. Now, we know that there's no way that officials can be 100% accurate, but they are very good. And I'm really getting tired of this constant arguing, constant just screaming at one another over what an official calls. I hope they change it.
You know, some of the most surprising moments to me in sports last year jump out at you. Of course, the Philadelphia Eagles winning the Super Bowl, the first one they had since 1960. How about the most shocking sports franchise had to be the Las Vegas Golden Knights. In their first year in NHL hockey, they got off to an 11-win start and just kept going right into the Stanley Cup Finals. Tiger Woods coming back to win the Tournament of Champions. It's always good when Tiger's playing well. But the biggest surprise, of course, in the NCAA basketball tournament, finally, a 16 seed beat a 1. Maryland, Baltimore County, the Retrievers upset Virginia, the biggest upset in sport 2018. More coming up this year, I'm sure. Join us next week. Got some very special guests. You're going to enjoy it. Oklahoma Sportscene. See you next time.